All right, y'all. So let's talk about this. So I read an article rather that Filip Hrgovic came out of the mouth. His name came out of the mouth of Moses Itauma as that's the guy that if he has his say so, that's the guy he wants to fight. 17-0 versus 14-0. I like that. You see what Moses is saying. You know, if they make that happen, great. Because you see, what you don't want to see Moses do is be one of them fighters that's in that same situation with Shakur Stevenson and the Keyshawn Davis and Tank Davis, and how I want to fight this guy, but then all of a sudden nothing happens, and you get one good win, and all of a sudden now I don't need nobody else, they need me type of thing. Two undefeated guys, man, start making history. He could look to fight guys that have respect on their name but no good anymore. He already destroyed Dillian White. He passed that test with flying colors. He went there and destroyed Jermaine Franklin, passed that test with flying colors. Filip Hrgovic is undefeated. Why not? So a guy like him needs to fight the F.A. Jaguars, the McCauley's, Joe Joyce. No, not Joe Joyce. He destroyed Joe Joyce. No, not Joe Joyce. Joseph Parker. That's what I meant to say. Joe's the youngest of those guys that's been in there with AJ and Wilder and Joyce and Zhang and all of them. He needs to be tested. The Frank Sanchez's, go fight those guys. Yes. And then, I don't think, to be honest with you, let me tell y'all something. Believe what y'all want. But AJ and Wilder, even Usyk, those guys up there, mid, late 30s, early 40s, whatever, they don't really want to, fight these guys that's on the come up. They want to fight guys that already have that name, already have, accomplishing things. I'm telling you this. They don't want to have to take those kind of fights if they don't have to. So what's happening right now with Moses, at least the way he's talking, I think Moses he's backing up. His he don't talk much, but he put like this. He's displaying in the ring what he needs to. He's already laying his path to destruction, one fight at a time, and it's not about calling out names and pretending. And nah, he's doing what he has to do. If Moses Itauma, if the powers that be decide they want to get behind him and push him, and they decide, hey, they want to try to negotiate a fight with AJ or with Usyk or whoever, as hey, we're hoping that this guy wins. If we can push him, it's like Tyson and Larry Holmes. You understand what I'm saying? Tyson and Spinks. Let's get this guy and put him in a position. Now, if he beats AJ, if he beats Usyk, if he beats, it's undeniable at that point, right? So that's what he needs to do, is be tested, not just be handpicked. And because here's the thing, wait, if he skips a Filip Hrgovic, which I'm glad he said his name. If he skips a Frank Sanchez, if he skips a F.A. Jaguar, right? If he skips a Martin McCauley, or Jared Anderson, which I believe he destroyed Jared Anderson, but if he skips these guys and go from being 15, 14 or whatever to straight to, the top guys, well, you look at it this way, he'd be defending his title against who? Those same guys who have not proven themselves to be on that level, the elite level. So if he beat them first, now you gotta look at who's there, who's left. And instead of sitting back trying to wait for other fighters to defeat each other, no, you go out there. You take names, you take aim, and you land your shot. Simple. And I like the fact that Moses Itauma, now I'm not big on words, it's about the action, but like I said, he goes in there and back it up. And I like the fact that he picked another fighter that is undefeated and part of his generation right now, as opposed to just trying to fight some old washed up guy. So when you hear me say Wilder should fight old washed up guys, because he's an old washed up guy. That's why. And the position he's in, one more fight he lose is over for him. So yeah, Moses could be saying, I want Wilder, I want Dylan. He already beat Dylan White, but no, he could be calling those names. No, he's calling people of his generation out. So I like that. I respect that. So it shows you that he's hungry and he's in the position of the mindset of proving himself. Not handouts. Not, hey, I looked impressive, just boost me up. But no, he wants to prove himself. And that's something that a lot of fighters don't care to do anymore. They get a couple of wins, have some little flashy moves in the fight, and all of a sudden think they're some superstar and that they just deserve a position. Like, nah. Moses is showing that he's cut from a different cloth. So that's a fight that I would like to see, him versus Filip Hrgovic. That definitely would be a fight I would like to see. I just feel like what I'm seeing in Moses right now, I feel like Moses beats all these guys, man. That's what I'm seeing in. But we don't determine fights that way. We get the actual fights, and that's how we know for sure. You know. And like I said, time is ticking, man. You know, and you know, even when I look at AJ, who's what, 36, 37 now, said he wants to fight, so he's 38, right? Now, that could change. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But even for AJ, it's like he has to be on to beat Moses Itauma. He's going to have to be on. Like, he's got to be locked in, not making careless, silly-ass amateur mistakes. His speed got to be there, his movement, everything. He has to be mentally tough and prepared that, hey, it might turn into a war, but I'm ready. Whatever. Moses right now is looking like he's ready to beat all these guys. And that's real shit. So, we'll see. We'll see. But I just wanted to make this video because this is refreshing, you know, and it's needed. Because once, you know, if Moses becomes that guy to, like, he's that star now, that's pretty much when everything changes. Then it just turns into now, all of a sudden, everybody was crazy about Moses Itauma. Now it's, oh man, this dude ain't fighting nobody. Oh man, he's cherry picking up. Because this is the way the sport is laid out. And that's what we keep getting. But yeah, I think it's like I said, it's refreshing and it's necessary to make it known. I want to be tested. I want to fight the best fighters out there and prove myself. I don't need you to hand me anything. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. That's all I got for y'all now. Catch you guys on the next video.